Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you guys are doing well. This video is the continuation of my previous ServiceNow Zoom integration video, and here we will be learning how we can use the obtained access token to create a Zoom meeting. If you haven't watched my previous video, then please go ahead and click the I button and check it out for the better understanding. And coming back to this one, so basically we will be retrieving the meeting URL from the Zoom response, and we will be storing that particular meeting URL to the specified field on the incident, and we will be also updating the comment so that it will be easily accessible from both the engineer side as well as the incident requester side to get on the meeting and have a joint session. So this will be the entire agenda of this video, and without doing any delay, let's just get started. So guys, I'm on my ServiceNow screen and I will just go to the script include that I have created and showed you in my previous video. So this is the script include Zoom access token, and having the main function as Zoom access token over here. So here I will go through the entire code where we will know how we can get the access token and use that access token to create the Zoom meeting. So first thing that I have done is I have created a client ID and client secret variable and stored those value, and you can get these value from your application server OAuth application that we have already configured. So you can just copy and paste this value over here, and we need to encrypt it in base 64 format. So using this particular method you can encode your client ID and client secret, but please don't forget to add a colon in between because this is the required format as per the documentation. Now the next thing will be to create the request body. So the request body will look like this. Replace this with your account ID, this value. You can get the account ID from your application as you can see over here. Now the next thing is we have created the object of this SNWS REST message v2 class, which is used to create a outbound REST API call. So it requires to have some parameter passed along with it. So the first thing will be setting the endpoint. So this is the endpoint we need to hit in order to get the access token from Zoom, and the method required is post method, and then two request header would be required. First one will be for the authorization, so we'll pass the value key as authorization and value as basic, then extra space, and then the encoded value that we obtained from here of that client ID and client secret. And then second thing is we will be passing the content type, and this should look like whatever I have mentioned. I just need to copy paste, and then we will pass the request body. As our request body is already in a string format, as you can see, we don't need to convert into a JSON string. I will just pass the same request body over here in this one, set request body, and then we just need to execute the request. After executing, it will throw some response that will be stored under this variable response token, and we can get the body using this get body method from the response token, and we can also get the status code using this get status code method to check whether our transaction was successful or did it result in any error. So if we get the response token status as 200, it means that our request went successful and we have the required response. So the next process will be to parse the response in order to retrieve the required values. So I'm just parsing the response token body into this variable, and then I'm obtaining the access token and expiration. by using these lines. Response token object dot expires in will retrieve the expire time. So basically a token will be valid only for 1 hour, and then we need to refresh it. Now the next thing that we need to do is to instantiate one more object of this REST message v2. So I have done that, and then set the required payload, and this payload format you can obtain from the Zoom documentation. I will provide the link in the description so that you can go and check it out. So this basically will be controlling the Zoom call that is being created through our code. So it will have the predefined topic as ITSM management, and the meeting type would be passed as to. So this means that it is a scheduled meeting, not an instant meeting. Then we can similarly predefine certain values to control the meeting. So few of these values will be mandatory. You can go and check out in the documentation, and we need to pass that value for sure in order to have a successful request sent. Now moving ahead, we need to set the endpoint as well. So this will be the endpoint that we will be hitting, and the next thing would be to set the method. So we need to set the post method over here, and then we need to set to request header as well. And now in the first request header we need to pass the key value as authorization, and then value would be the access token that we obtained. It will be exchanged with Zoom, and it will help to authorize the call. So don't forget to add an extra space after bearer in order to make it work properly. And the second request header would be content type, which is nothing but application/JSON. Now as we can see that our body is in object form. Now we need to convert it into a JSON string. So we'll use this method JSON.stringify to convert into a string format, and then we will pass it in the set request body. Okay, and after that we need to execute the request in order to get the response into this Zoom response variable, and then we will get the body of the response into this Zoom response body variable, as well as the response status into this Zoom response status variable using the get status code method. And the next thing we need to do is to parse the response in order to retrieve the required values. So we are doing the parsing using json.parse method. And now the next thing we need to do is to check for the response status code. If it is 201, then we have a successful transaction done, and we'll get the required response. So I am just storing the join URL. So this will be the key in the response, join_URL for the meeting URL. So you need to mention the key similarly over here. This will give the URL of the meeting. And the next thing I am pushing into my meet link array is access token, and this array I have defined on the top in initialize function over here. After pushing all these two values, I am returning this meeting link as the result. And if at all we end up with an error, or we get the response status code as 40 or 404 or something else like 503, then it will log the error in script log statement module that we have in ServiceNow. It will log the error over there as couldn't create Zoom link, and it will also have the value of this variable mentioned over here, and it will return null. And the second error could be to while retrieving the access token. So we have first if condition on the top over here. So if we do not get the response token status as 200 over here, then in the first place only it will return as access token couldn't be fetched and return null, and it will not go for these entire code. It will just return the error. So That's all we need to have in the script include. And next thing we need to do is to call this script include from UI action, which we have configured on incident form. So let's just jump into that UI action configuration. So this is the UI action that I have configured, and I have named the action as Zoom meeting, and as this will be displayed on incident table on the incident form, so I have mentioned the table name as incident over here. So the next thing that I have done is I have added few conditions over here using the current object and the field name that I have created on the incident form for storing the values that we are getting. So it will check for the field value. If it is empty, then only our UI action will be visible on that particular form. So it will check for the u_access_token, which is nothing but the backend value of the field, as well as u_zoom_link, which is the backend value of another field. So it will check for both of these fields, and if the values are empty, then only the UI action will be visible. And this is just to control the API call. Like if we have already the meeting URL and someone click on the Zoom meeting button, then again it will process the request and create one more link. So in order to avoid those duplicates, we need to have this condition in place. Now moving forward, I have called the script include created over here, and using the current method again we are storing the values that got returned as a result. So I have used the indexing based on the values stored in the array and storing the values to the field using the current object. Now we are updating the current incident using this line, and action.set redirect URL will nothing but it will just reload the form after updating. It will not change the page from form view to list view. It will just reload the same instance page and it will stay in that particular page itself. So don't forget to add this line as well. So I will show where I have configured the field, but that's all we need to do with the UI action. Now let's head over to the incident form to see the field that I have configured. I will open a new form. Click on new. So we have the incident form loaded, and if I scroll down, I have created one more section over here as Zoom detail, and I have created two fields under it. So if I could show you the backend value, so you can see the backend value, and these are the backend value I have used in the UI action to store the values to this field. And then as this is a new form, we won't be seeing the UI action over here as per the condition. So I will just go back and I will open an existing record. So there are two conditions in order to see the UI action. Firstly, the incident record should be pre-existing and it should not be new, and the access token and Zoom link field should be empty. As you can see, these fields are not empty, so here also our UI action will not be visible. So I will look for any record which doesn't have the value in place. So I have opened one more random incident record, and here we can see that access token and Zoom link field is empty. So, and also this record is already existing. So now we have the UI action visible. So just for testing, I will click over here. So see, our UI action worked as expected, and it has thrown the required response and got stored in these two fields. So everything is working as expected. Now if I share this URL with the requester of the incident in comment, then without any passcode or anything asked, they will be directly able to join the meeting. So I will just copy this one and paste here in order to access the meeting. So it is loading. So guys, see, it has successfully started up the meeting, and also if you can observe, recording is already happening and we did not started it manually. So we can have all these controls through code itself to mitigate the manual intervention. So we have successfully started the meeting. So guys, currently my integration is missing one very significant functionality, which is refreshing the token only when it is expired, not every time we are making the request, because there is some rate limit imposed by Zoom. So if we go beyond that, then no access token will be provided to us. So it is recommended to refresh the token only when it is expired. So basically we get a token which is valid for 1 hour for server to server OAuth application. So basically we need to check if the access token is expired or not and take the action accordingly. If I could show you, I will open one of the incident. So I will just remove this value in order to get the UI action visible, because it won't be visible if we have the value over here. I will save this form. Now I will click on Zoom meeting. I've got the notification of the meeting which has the topic ITSM management. I will just cancel it out. So guys, okay, according to the condition, it won't be visible when this value is already set into these two fields. So what I meant to say is that here this is the access token. If I would have clicked at my UI action again, then it would have thrown me a different access token as well as the URL. So we don't want that to happen. We want to use this same access token again and again for every request until unless it is expired. After it is expired, we can refresh the token. So that would be the better way of handling it. So guys, in my next video, I'm planning to explain you how you can efficiently manage the access token. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope it helped you and you enjoyed the session, and please like and subscribe to stay tuned on my upcoming videos, and also write your suggestion, query and comment in the comment box below. So we'll meet soon. Thank you for watching.